Assalamualaikum and good day everyone, my name is Lydiya. Today we are in 2022, and as you're watching this video right now, we're still very much in the midst of a pandemic since mid-March 2020. The appearance of Lydiya disease COVID-19 has resulted in massive financial losses and has caused global health and economic crisis around the world. It's really and definitely had an impact on global industries, including tourism, which is the largest contributor to the global services sector. The leisure and travel industry has been hit the hardest by COVID-19 globally. According to Jafar Abbas, an economist, in his recent study on behavioral sciences, leisure and domestic tourism revenue fell sharply by 2.86 trillion, which is more than 50%. All of this can be seen as a result in a change on the behavior of the tourists as they abandon planned travel for fear of contracting the disease. Hence, the virus outbreak has caused a global travel collapse since mid-March 2020. According to World Tourism Organization (UNWTO), the arrival of international tourists showed a sharp decline of 56% from January to May, and a 97% drop in April, and a 98% arrivals drop in May 2020, as shown to you right now. This proved that the pandemic has truly disrupted economic activities globally, constitute a significant shock to tourism development globally. Now, where did all of this complication lead us to? Yes, the hotel industry. The hotel industry is among the hardest hit. It is simply an unexpected occurrence as COVID-19 prolonged from months to years, now even expected to last up until the end of 2023. The hotel industry faces an incredible amount of loss and crisis due to the severe economic impact of the pandemic. And it has even forced so many hotels to shut down.
It's a landmark in New York City, opened in 1924, so it's really sad.
Hotel guests were surprised, but then again they weren't, to hear that this iconic hotel, the Roosevelt, named after President Theodore Roosevelt, will be closing at the end of October after 96 years on this corner of 45th and Madison. 18 stories, more than 1,000 rooms, and 22,000 square feet of retail space. It's been owned by Pakistani International Airlines for decades, so not a surprise that it's closing, according to recognized realtor developer Ken Laub.
One time, that fabulous hotel site was valued at over $1 billion. To see it close down is a product of COVID-19, but also the Pakistani Airlines, Pakistani International Airlines as they are called, and the problems that they're having financial.
New York City is another destination that has been hit hard by the pandemic. As you can see from the video, among the properties that have already closed for good in New York are the Omni Shire Place, Times Square Edition, Hilton Westchester, W New York Downtown, Hilton Hotel Times Square, Courtyard by Marriott in Herald Square, aka Wall Street, and the Roosevelt Hotel. A report from the Wall Street Journal suggests about 20% of the city's total hotel supply, which is about 2,500,000 rooms, could close permanently. In general, larger hotels are subjected to higher overheads and risk of running into heavier debts, hence the tendency and need to close when it is no longer sustainable. Well, with that being said, crisis management determines the primary application process before, during, or after a crisis. Observing the impact and consequences of COVID-19 can include the following significant stakeholders: demand for tourism, tourism resources, tourism organizations, and government leaders. Strategic corporation communication and many other public relation tools play an essential role in challenging times like this, especially to minimize financial loss and taking steps in rebuilding brands to survive in the industry. Now, let's focus on the crisis that Hilton hotels face and how it managed to find its growth back through their crisis management in order to recover from the hit of the pandemic. This pandemic has hit almost all economic sectors, with no exception for Hilton hotels and resorts. For instance, due to a reported steep decline in revenue, the Hilton Group has decided to shut down over 1,000 of its hotels worldwide. Let's check out this news video by SABC News regarding the downfall of Hilton during the peak of the pandemic.
The Hilton Hotel has a strategic location and indeed a partnership with the Albert Luthuli National Convention Center, which has been the most successful convention center for some time. Due to the nationwide lockdown, the ICC had to cancel several local and international events and conferences, which usually rakes in millions. This has had a severe impact on the Hilton Hotel. The eThekwini municipality says a recovery plan is underway that will look at assisting establishments. The plan includes decreasing tariffs and rates in the tourism sector.
Well, in this crucial time, immediate actions are important to ensure the company is able to get back on the track in the nearest time. Let's watch the video clip featuring Hilton's CEO response to the crisis which has severely harmed the company financially.
I know that your industry is one of those that's been hit particularly hard by this coronavirus pandemic, just because nobody's traveling anymore, business or leisure at this point. I saw some statistics that said for the U.S. hotel industry overall, the week that ended April 25th, occupancy was down by 62%, and the average daily rate that was charged for a room was down by 43%. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, that sounds about right for the industry. I mean, obviously, we reported first quarter, which was down. And I think we noted, as you pointed out, that the second quarter is certainly going to be worse in the sense that, January and February were pretty much normal months and as expected. And then March is where we really got hit by the pandemic. A little bit, earlier in the year, obviously in China. But, in the U.S. and the rest of the world, it was really March. And so really the crux of the impact, I think you're going to see hit the second quarter and the lack of mobility. So it's been challenging. We at Hilton moved very quickly. If you look at all the news on us to respond to it, we saw it coming very early, because we have a global business. We saw what was going on in China. We worked really quickly to sort of first protect our people, our customers, protect our team members, all 400,000+ of them. But importantly, to protect the business.
Next, according to official statistics on the net income of Hilton Worldwide Holdings from 2014 to 2020, the global hotel company experienced a significant drop in 2020, which recorded a massive net loss of $700 and $200 million compared to 2019, which recorded a net profit of $886 million. As a result, in order to assist Hilton in recovering from the financial loss they have been undergoing since the outbreak of COVID-19, which was impacted by two major crises that I've mentioned earlier, the crisis management team of Hilton, known as Global Communication, had devised some crisis communication strategies by developing several programs and campaigns after defining the issues and crises. According to Hilton's history, this is the first time it has ever faced such a great downfall in its business. Hence, actions desperately in need to assure that this situation doesn't prolong or get even worse to save their business. As a public relations practitioner, it is my responsibility to find a sturdy, great, and immediate solution to overcome a crisis. In this particular issue, we can say that Hilton PR practitioner has worked in a great way. During the pandemic COVID-19, furlough and layoff among team members were reluctant actions from Hilton to save the company's money and keeping the mobility of assets liquid. As a result of that, the team members immediately lost their incomes and jobs. Therefore, the Hilton Workforce Resources Center has partnered with leading companies with job opportunities. A new Hilton Alumni Network portal was launched to give job opportunities to the members who are being laid off. In this collaboration, numerous companies will join together to create 1 million short-term jobs in the labor market, no matter how big, small, or medium-sized enterprises. In addition, Hilton cares about the employees' benefits. For those who left the service were rewarded the honor status and received a travel program from Hilton. Hilton provided some assistance to the departing team members, such as financial aid to those who face financial problems and retained their health insurance during the pandemic. These actions have made Hilton well known as a humane and caring company. Their effort has resulted in Hilton being ranked 3rd in the 2020 Fortune World's Best Workplaces list. Furthermore, Hilton also took the initiative by implementing great ideas and great ways to ensure the Give Back brand image. In a recent interview, Nigel Glennie, the Vice President of Global Corporate Communication at Hilton, said that the pandemics have given them a tough time as they were not ready to face them. He also added that he's proud of his communication and corporate responsibility team as they come up with so many amazing ideas, which was a great help for them to get back on their track as they were in the pre-pandemic period. Firstly, Hilton has come up with launching a new program, which is the launch of Hilton Clean Stay. The goal of the program is to ensure the public's view on Hilton's concern on guest safety. Nigel stated that they supported first-to-market programs that focus on the guest experience, collaborated with their partners to support first responder with a 1 million room donation, and dealt with the most significant business and personal challenges in their company 101-year history. From the public relations perspective, we could say that this is a program to help other organizations through collaborations. First and foremost, collaborating with other field agencies, industries, and organizations help us to get down with our work, project, or programs on time. When we work together as a team, workloads will be divided equally among us. This can ensure that work is done perfectly with quality and it could be finished on time. A planned work can minimize the cost needed to advertise and in completing the task. On the other hand, it also enables us to lessen the burden and stress that every staff member goes through. Thirdly, collaboration ideas can help an organization to save costs and gain more profit. When an organization collaborates, they can divide their costs equally among them. This is also another way to increase our incomes by spending less money. For example, let's say an institution or an organization needs about 500 ringgit to launch a new program. Through collaboration, the cost will decrease to only 100 ringgit per company. Not only that, Hilton also increased their credibility among the hospitality industry to society, as well as gain a positive company reputation. Through corporate social responsibility, which is CSR, Hilton has left the public with good impression as well as a good brand recognition. At the same time, Hilton also gained loyalty from the customers because they prefer companies that have the same value as them. This is because every activity that they did brought impactful benefits to the society during this very difficult time. Last but not least, Hilton also took this opportunity to establish and strengthen the company's connection to other industries through this collaboration. This pandemic became an opportunity for Hilton to meet and establish a good relationship with various companies from other industries instead. Hilton might even be able to extend their business and cooperate across the field in the future through its impressive management during this pandemic. In this case, Hilton has donated over 1 million rooms to support their first responders. This was a smart move by Hilton to get back to whatever they have lost earlier. They have donated their room for free to attract more customers, which is a solution to build back their business and to be on par as to how they were during the pre-pandemic. The donation conveyed a message to the public regarding the safety measures that were being taken by the management to ensure the health condition of their customers. The name of the campaign itself clearly explains that Hilton regularly sanitizes and cleanses the room as per the name Hilton Stay Clean. Well, to conclude it all, we can say that Hilton's PR team are working well and making decisions to make sure customers are easily attracted toward them with a good quality of service provided. This case study made us realize that we need to be ready at all times to face the worst kind of circumstances, and no matter how bad it gets, we need to keep looking outwards for the best solutions possible. That's all from me. Thank you very much.